faithfully delivering value and interpreting great books worldwide. Hello, this is Sally Talks Books. Today I'm interpreting the book Range: Why Generalists Triumph in a Specialized World. The subtitle is In the Age of Hyper-Specialization, Why Do Generalists Succeed? In education, there's a deeply held belief called winning at the starting line.
This means that to excel in any field, you gotta specialize early and put in tons of practice.
One famous case is Tiger Woods, who started golf at age 2, became the youngest U.S. amateur champ at 18, and later the youngest Masters winner ever. Similar examples pop up in music, chess, and other areas. Some chess players begin at 4, and success books use them as proof that early start and precise practice are key. Like, oh, this makes a lot of sense, and many parents raise their kids this way. But the author, David Epstein, thinks that locking in a goal early and starting specialized training has big limitations.
Epstein is a senior writer for Sports Illustrated with master's degrees in environmental science and journalism, and he's published several bestsellers.
He found that many sports elites didn't follow that early specialization path. Take tennis legend Roger Federer. He tried tons of sports like badminton, wrestling, basketball, and soccer. Even after starting junior tennis, he kept up with soccer and wrestling. When he quit other sports to focus on tennis, many peers had more practice time, but that didn't stop him from becoming world champ. Epstein further discovered that this late bloomer thing happens in lots of fields. From music and art to science and business, many elites aren't specialists. They're generalists who cross boundaries, learning and trying stuff across different areas. Today's book, Range, is Epstein's summary of his findings. He uses tons of real cases to analyze the pros and cons of early specialization and explores how cross-field diverse learning helps people achieve more. After publication, this book made Bill Gates' 2020 recommended reading list. Gates praised it as a great book that debunks the myth of specialization. I'll break down the main content for you in 2 parts. First, why early specialization has limited applicability. Second, what benefits does diverse learning bring? Let's start with the first part. Why early specialization has limited applicability. First, what fields is it actually suitable for? The book calls these kind learning environments, characterized by clear rules and repetitive problem patterns. Feedback is immediate and accurate, and golf is a classic kind learning environment. Golf has clear rules, and players face similar challenges, hitting the ball accurately based on terrain, wind speed, and direction. Players get instant feedback after each shot, seeing results immediately to adjust power and distance control. Now consider more competitive sports like tennis and basketball. After years of development, effective tactics under current rules are well studied. Tactics used are well known and recurring. Differences come from players' skill levels affecting outcomes. And players must choose suitable tactics while recognizing and countering opponents' strategies. Effective counter tactics remain valid if rules stay unchanged, essentially solving recurring problems. Thus, tennis and basketball are also kind learning environments. Some niches in the arts also qualify as kind learning environments. For example, classical music performance focuses on accurately playing fixed scores, mastering repetitive challenges through persistent practice. These examples show that in kind learning environments, extensive practice hones skills for recurring problems, creating experts. Take chess, for instance. Players start memorizing tons of patterns and counter strategies from childhood, building strong memory and quick reactions. A grandmaster can memorize a chess position in just 3 seconds. They don't recall each piece individually, but chunk the board into patterns within each chunk. Similarly, classical musicians play long passages from memory, and basketball players read defenses in a split second to pass, drive, or shoot. This comes from intensive practice, developing lightning-fast pattern recognition for recurring situations. So, in kind learning environments, early specialization totally works. Many top athletes, chess pros, and musicians started young, honing skills through deliberate practice. But many real-world fields have fuzzy, shifting rules and novel challenges, what the book calls wicked learning environments. The author compares solving problems here to playing a game with unknown rules. Even if you figure out temporary rules through trial and error, stay alert, because rules can change anytime. New rules bring unprecedented scenarios. Past strategies become obsolete. Early specialization backfires here, limiting flexibility. Business is a classic wicked learning environment. In our fast-changing world, new tech and products emerge constantly. Consumer preferences shift. Past success doesn't guarantee future wins. Nokia, once the mobile leader, won fans with durable, long-lasting phones. But that playbook failed in the smartphone era. Apple and Samsung stole its market share. Consumers switched priorities, from hardware reliability to software experience. A rule change Nokia couldn't solve with old tactics. Scientific research is also a wicked learning environment. Frontier scientists expand human knowledge boundaries, constantly facing unprecedented problems and seeking new theories. All theories have their own scope of application, following different physical rules in their fields. If you cling to old theories and experiences, you can't keep innovating. Even Einstein fell into the trap of past successes. Einstein remained opposed to quantum mechanics in his later years. Quantum mechanics holds that microscopic particles move randomly. We can only predict probabilities. Einstein believed a theory could precisely predict particle motion, but science ultimately proved quantum mechanics right. Einstein's obsession with certainty stemmed largely from his relativity research. Relativity studies the laws of the macroscopic universe, where motions are precisely predictable. It was his past success that led Einstein to misjudge quantum mechanics. So in wicked learning environments, broad vision and creativity matter more than specialized skills. Tackle new challenges flexibly. These traits come from diverse learning. Psychologist Dean Simonton at UC is a famous creativity researcher. He notes that creative achievers have wide interests, not fixated on narrow topics, giving broader insights.
The study shows Nobel laureates are 22 times more likely to be amateur actors, magicians, or performers than other scientists.
For example, Nobel laureate James Allison is both an immunologist and harmonica player in the blues band Checkpoints.
Allison plays harmonica and even performed with country legend Willie Nelson.
All right, to summarize part one, kind learning environments have clear rules and repetitive patterns, enabling rapid response through early specialization. Wicked learning environments have unclear, shifting rules and non-repeating problems. Skills from early specialization actually hinder solving new challenges. Now for part two, what exactly are the benefits of diverse learning? First, the benefits of diverse learning and kind learning environments. And the author notes that in kind environments, early specialization isn't the only path to success. Scientists from the University of Copenhagen tracked practice hours throughout athletes' careers.
They found that before age 15, elite athletes actually practiced fewer hours weekly than average ones.
Only after 15 did elites surpass others and maintain high practice levels. Scientists explain, many elites go through a sampling period of diverse learning before intensive specialization. During this phase, they explore various sports. Only after broad experimentation do they focus on one for specialized training. Federer, as mentioned earlier, followed exactly this path. The author argues that in sports, late specialization like Federer's is far more common than Tiger Woods' path.
Take NFL legend Tom Brady, widely considered the greatest quarterback ever.
In school, he played football, basketball, baseball, karate, and even signed with a pro baseball team. The same pattern appears in music. A study found nearly all top-tier music students played at least 3 instruments. Over half played 4 or 5, far exceeding lower-tier peers. The author states that in kind environments, early diverse learning actually enhances later specialization. With 3 reasons. First, exploring different fields helps people discover their strengths and passions, leading to specialization where they thrive. In these areas, they're more motivated to invest time, improving skills. Whereas when parents force early specialization, kids often rebel, losing interest and quitting before reaching elite levels. Secondly, many different fields require overlapping skills. So, skills learned elsewhere aren't wasted. They build a strong foundation for future specialization.
Ukrainian boxer Vasyl Lomachenko has won world titles in 3 weight classes.
As a kid, he trained in gymnastics, basketball, rugby, tennis, and even took a 4-year break from boxing to study Ukrainian folk dance. The SEAL credits all these for improving his footwork, just like Federer's basketball and badminton developed tennis-specific hand-eye coordination. And also, finally, exploring multiple fields uses interleaved practice, a learning method. It means mixing related but different content during training. Say, playing basketball today, soccer tomorrow, tennis the next day. Each sport has different rules. You adapt tactics accordingly. That's interleaved practice. Learners can't rely on muscle memory. They must analyze situations and choose skills consciously. This thinking deepens skill mastery. An external experiment proves interleaving's power. Researchers had badminton players practice 3 serve types. Blocked practice group focused on one serve type daily, rotating next day.
Interleaved group mixed all 3 serves daily, never repeating consecutively.
After 3 weeks, interleaved group averaged 18 points versus blocked group's 12. So, in kind environments, while early specialization works, diverse learning lets late bloomers master equally high-level skills. Now, let's explore diverse learning in wicked environments.
The author highlights 3 benefits. First, enhanced creativity.
Solving never-before-seen problems. This happens because diverse learning trains analogical thinking. Analogical thinking means finding similarities between different things. For example, if you've fixed a clogged bathtub before, you'd apply similar solutions when the kitchen sink blocks. Through diverse learning, people broaden perspectives, gain analogical material, and develop sharper insights into deep structures. Dre Gentner, a psychologist at Northwestern University and world-renowned analogy expert, invited students from various majors for a categorization task. The task used 25 cards, each describing phenomena like how economic bubbles form or how routers function. Results showed all students categorized by subject area, while only some grouped by deep structure. To them, economic bubbles and melting Antarctic ice sheets shared structural similarities. Economic bubbles grow when consumers actively buy property or stocks, further inflating the bubble. Similarly, melting ice sheets raise temperatures, causing more melting. Both are positive feedback loops. These multidisciplinary students saw deep structural connections. Understanding such patterns lets us solve new problems by converting unfamiliar challenges into familiar ones through analogy. And a famous cognitive psychology experiment asks, as a doctor using radiation to destroy a stomach tumor, if rays are too strong, they damage tissue. If too weak, they don't affect the tumor. How to precisely control intensity to destroy tumor without harming tissue. After posing the problem, researchers gave some participants 2 reference stories. First story, a general must capture a fortress surrounded by mined roads, passable only with small groups.
So he divided soldiers into small teams, each taking different roads, arriving simultaneously to attack and capture the fortress.
Second story, a cabin fire. Many people fetch water with buckets in turns, yet the fire persists. Finally, the fire chief had everyone circle the cabin and throw water simultaneously. Flames immediately died down and were soon extinguished. Hearing this, you've probably figured out the tumor problem solution. We can use multiple low-intensity rays from different angles, destroying the tumor without harming tissue. Researchers found only 10% solved the tumor problem without hearing the stories.
After hearing the fortress story, about 30% found the answer.
With both stories half solved it. These stories seem unrelated to medicine but share deep structural similarities. When you need strong force but can't use it directly, what then? Many tech innovations come from analogical thinking. Andrew Uderkirk at 3M invented optical film that reflects or refracts light, boosting bulbs and solar panels. Inspiration came from the morpho butterfly. Its wings have layered scales refracting specific blue wavelengths. Uderkirk's film uses hundreds of polymer layers, each refracting specific light. Analogical thinking lets outsiders solve experts' problems. Innocentive collects unsolved industry problems and posts them publicly. Solvers get cash rewards. Over one-third of posted problems get solved, a high rate. After all, these problems stump industry experts. Yet solvers are often outsiders.
For example, NASA couldn't predict solar particle storms for years. They endanger astronauts and equipment.
This problem baffled solar physicists. Unsolved for 30 years. In 2009, NASA posted it through Innocentive. 6 months later, a retired telecommunications engineer solved this problem. He discovered radio waves from telescopes could predict solar storms. So where's the outsider's edge? The author believes experts overfocus on technical details, while some solutions require stepping beyond specifics for inspiration. Outsiders naturally lack technical knowledge, so they first analyze the problem's structure, identifying its type, and recalling similar patterns. This makes analogical thinking more likely to yield answers. The second benefit of diverse learning is enabling more accurate predictions. In reality, we often need to predict future developments to prepare accordingly. People assume experts predict better, but many expert forecasts are unreliable. For instance, international banks annually predict USD-Euro exchange rates.
Psychologist Gerd Gigerenzer analyzed 22 banks' 2000 to 2010 predictions, finding actual rates outside forecast ranges 6 of 10 years.
To identify accurate predictors, psychologist Philip Tetlock tracked experts' long-term forecasts. He categorized experts into two types: hedgehogs. These specialists dive deep into narrow fields with extensive knowledge but lack broad perspective, viewing everything through a single lens. The other type, foxes, though less specialized than hedgehogs, they excel at diverse learning, integrating multiple perspectives for analysis, making their predictions significantly more accurate. In 2005, U.S. intelligence launched a 4-year forecasting tournament. 5 expert teams predicted daily from EU member exits to Mackay closing points.
Tetlock led one team, recruiting fox-like volunteers publicly instead of renowned experts.
These folks usually have wide interests and rich experiences, but their expertise isn't directly related to what they're predicting. Ultimately, Tetlock's team beat both teams of specialized college students and seasoned intelligence analysts. Compared to intelligence agents, Tetlock's team had 30% higher prediction accuracy. The reason? Future developments are influenced by factors across different domains. Take exchange rates, affected by domestic economics, government finances, global situations, and more. From one factor, rates might rise. From another, they might fall. Hedgehog experts fixate on their specialty, dismissing conflicting views, making accurate predictions impossible. But diverse learning gives fox experts open curiosity. They weigh conflicting perspectives and explore multiple angles. Fox experts never cling to one view. They invite critiques and actively seek cross-domain perspectives. Fox experts believe every field offers a unique lens. Truth emerges from clashing viewpoints. The more perspectives we know, the closer we get to reality. The third benefit: diverse learning helps people find suitable careers at different life stages. In economics, there's a term, match quality. It measures how well a job matches one's personality, skills, and interests. Conventional wisdom says, find high match quality and stick with it long term. This works in kind learning environments. While athletes can specialize later, they must choose by age 15 or miss skill acquisition windows, but most careers don't require such early specialization. Instead, most begin careers in their 20s after leaving school. Many successful people have winding career paths, trying seemingly suitable jobs before moving to others. This might seem indecisive and lacking long-term planning, but it doesn't stop them from succeeding eventually. And Master artist Vincent van Gogh worked as an art dealer, missionary, and bookstore clerk. He started each career with interest but eventually switched paths. He only began formal painting studies around age 30. The author believes we shouldn't feel forced to stick with one career forever after choosing it. Two reasons. First, personalities and interests change over time. Comparing ourselves now to 10 years ago, most realize we've changed significantly. So even high match quality jobs today can't guarantee future compatibility.
Second, societal progress creates new professions, some potentially better suited to us.
For example, someone loves gaming but isn't pro level. Previously could only treat it as a hobby. But with live streaming's rise, game streamers thrive through entertainment skills or communication, not necessarily gaming prowess. Career-wise, both we and our environments keep evolving. New situations and opportunities emerge constantly. Finding a lifelong fit job immediately is rarely easy. Herminia Ibarra, organizational behavior professor at London Business School, tracked professionals' career trajectories. She found many professionals in their 30s to 40s undergo major career shifts, some multiple times. After years in one field, these professionals lose satisfaction with their current work.
Then, through serendipity, they enter new fields, exploring short-term opportunities before fully transitioning.
Like a tech employee transitioning to management at 46. By taking courses and attending conferences, he gradually expanded his network. Ultimately, he became an organizational development consultant.
Northwestern and MIT researchers also found founders of fastest-growing startups launch at average age 45.
From these experiences, Ibarra developed a career philosophy. She believes maximizing lifelong match quality comes not from rigid career planning, but from flexibly exploring diverse fields.
For any interesting social group or profession, engage in short-term exploration.
Like taking related courses, networking in the field, or trying temporary new roles. Through experiential learning, we deepen self-awareness and find our best current fit. By maintaining this exploratory approach, we'll find satisfying work at every life stage. All right, summarizing part 2, in kind environments, diverse learning helps find suitable fields, builds foundations, and deepens skills through interleaved practice. In wicked environments, it fosters analogical thinking for solving novel problems. Fox-like experts integrate diverse perspectives for more accurate predictions. We can also use diverse learning to explore careers and find optimal matches throughout life. With this, we've covered range. Early specialization seems clear, simple, and efficient.
But the author argues its effectiveness is overstated.
Our complex, ambiguous world contains too many uncertainties that can invalidate accumulated skills. Even in kind environments, early diversification and later specialization are more common. In this rapidly changing world, we must embrace uncertainty. Through diverse learning and broad exploration, we'll solve emerging challenges and build fulfilling lives. Well, range, that concludes our interpretation. Find show notes below the audio. See you next time.